my wife was cheating on me. That was one of the worst days of my life. And I'm embarrassed about it now, but I can talk about it. It's up, but I did do this. I waited. I waited for her to fall asleep. And when I waited a long time, she's Asian. I couldn't tell if she was asleep or not. I was looking at her.
You ever go like on those history tours? I went on one.
Yes, I do.
I went to Williamsburg, Virginia. They do it up because it's like old town Williamsburg. They preserved it from 1700, and they even go as far as to have like black dudes walking around like slaves in their little costumes. Hey, how you doing now, sir? And then like I left the group. I split up from the group, and one of them black dudes seen me. He was like, "Hey, bro, help me."
Dave Chappelle has been a familiar face on television for decades, but every now and then it's easy to forget that he spends plenty of time watching TV himself. And as it turns out, even Dave has taken issue with the way certain things are portrayed on television.
Television, is it me or do commercials have nothing to do with the products anymore? You see, this lady had a black eye. Did you see that? It threw me for a loop.
No, I didn't see
The
this.
lady, she comes on TV. She got a black eye. She's crying. She's like, I smoke crack. My husband beats me. And then a voice comes on and says, got milk? I was like, what the hell does that? What does that have to do with milk?
Television commercials weren't the only part of TV that Dave had concerns about. In this next clip, he raises questions about the ethics of broadcasting 911 emergency calls.
Shows, they tape them, and then they play them on television. That's fucked up. I mean, it's a 911 tape. How they expect you to sound? It's an emergency. There's nobody calls 911 cool and relaxed. And that shit would sound ridiculous. Hello, emergency. Hi. Hey, 911, how are you? Look, there's a group of hooded white men gathering outside of my house, and it looks like they mean business. Get out here! I gotta go.
Despite his criticisms, Dave genuinely enjoys watching television. He's mentioned in several interviews, as well as in his comedy specials, that he's somewhat addicted to it. During an interview with Conan, he even revealed which show he considers his favorite.
Tunes, stuff like that.
That's all I watch. Yeah, I used to watch the Super Friends. You know, I used to... I felt bad for Aquaman and I felt bad for Black Lightning. You remember Black Lightning, anybody?
Yeah,
Like
kinda.
3 people. That was the black dude on the Super Friends. You know why nobody remembers him? Because they never let him do anything. I'm serious. Every time something happens, Superman, Aquaman, you take the sea. I'll take the air. Black Lightning, if anyone calls, tell them we'll be back between 7, 8 o'clock.
But here's the kind of moment television rarely highlights. When Kevin received the Mark Twain Prize, Dave stepped up to deliver a heartfelt tribute, blending sincere praise with the sharp, playful jokes only he could pull off.
One of the greatest comedians that I've ever seen, and Kevin is one of the greatest men that I've ever known. Hello, Jerry. And I am honored to know somebody like you. I really wish you would come when I won this award. No, nigga's busy, busy. One day, my son came home and was looking at me like I was crazy. And I said, what does that look in your face? And he said, Kevin Hart just said in an interview that you were one of the greatest comedians that ever lived.
He's unbelievable. We came in, crafted, we got some shit that we wanted to work on. Dave just went up there and talked.
And I was like, yeah. But in my mind, I was like, he did? And I thought to myself, if I ever had a chance to honor you in front of your family, boy, I'll come running. I just wish it wasn't this Sunday because I was supposed to be in Jamaica.
To Dave, to Chris, to Jerry, hey man, I'm a student of comedy. And when you get the greats to come out and support you in any way, shape, or form, it makes you feel like you're doing great shit.
I canceled plans.
Dave and Kevin have always appeared to share a strong bond, but not everyone knows how that friendship first started. Their connection reportedly dates back to the early stages of Kevin Hart's career. As an up-and-coming comedian trying to establish himself, Kevin admired Dave, and the two eventually met while performing on the stand-up circuit. Over time, that respect developed into a genuine friendship, with Dave becoming both a mentor and one of Kevin's biggest champions. Of course, Dave has met plenty of people throughout Hollywood, and unfortunately for him, that list includes P. Diddy. Fortunately, though, Dave says he was never invited to one of Diddy's parties, and according to him, he understood exactly why.
Ask me. They say, Dave, did you know anything about those freak off parties? And I'd be like, nah, man. I didn't know anything about the freak off. And they all look at me like, and they be like, well, how all these people you know is at the freak off, but you's the only one that wasn't at the freak off. And I thought about it for a minute. I said, oh my God. I'm ugly.
But that still didn't keep Dave from becoming part of the conversation. In his latest comedy special, he shared a story involving Diddy that he may have later wished he hadn't told.
One night, I shouldn't even tell. I've been to Puffy's house. No, I didn't see, look, no, I didn't see none of the stuff they said in that trial. I walked to that living room, house was clean, traction on the floor, nothing slippery, walk right through. Only thing in hindsight, but at the time it didn't mean nothing to me. I didn't think about it until after I found all that stuff out, but we was on this back patio, and we was drinking and laughing, talking, and then Puff starts swirling his drink like this, and he goes, so Dave, what are you into? You know me, I was like, I don't know, books, video games, okay, look, it's not that I think Puff is right, but when I got attacked in LA at the Hollywood Bowl, people forget Puff was the guy that tackled my attacker. It's a hard nigga to be mad at after that. I had security that night, but you know what I mean? They just wasn't ready. Them niggas had some slippery shoes on or something, they ran out. All them niggas slipped and fell. And Puffy got my attacker and tackled him. And then years later, when I heard about that baby oil, I was like, what did those slip on?
Diddy wasn't the only controversial person Dave had crossed paths with. During one of his 2017 comedy specials, Dave shared the story of how he first got to know OJ Simpson.
First time I met OJ Simpson, I had done a show, and then a guy from the club came up and was like, hey, OJ Simpson's here, and he said he wants to meet you. I said, what? Yeah. I ran down the steps, standing beside him. Well, I don't know the nice way to say this. His soon-to-be slain wife. I can tell you that woman was very nice to me. She actually embraced me. She said, I think you're adorable. And she held me for a long time. And I whispered in her ear, are you trying to get us both killed? That was the first time in a nutshell. Third time I met OJ Simpson, I was doing great in life. I was playing a comedy club in Miami. The door for the green room is right on the stage. If I walked out of the door of the green room, bam, I'm just right here. It's right from the dressing room. And I did that. And I looked, ma'am, as close as you are to me. I saw him as soon as I came out. I didn't acknowledge his presence because it was a white audience and I didn't want to start a panic. Show went great. I said, good night, everyone. And I didn't say nothing to OJ, but I just gave him a signal, let him know I knew he was there. And I walked into the green room and OJ was already in there. I was like, how the fuck is this possible? I was scared. Then my friends came in and we all started talking. You could believe me or not believe me, but in my experience, OJ Simpson, one of the nicest men I'd ever met. We talked for 90 minutes and then suddenly the juice said, you know what? I've got to be going. Good night, guys. And we said, good night. And he just walked out of the room. And as soon as the door closed, we all looked at each other like, that did that shit. I could feel like murder in the room.
You might not believe it just by looking at him, but according to Dave himself, he's a deeply jealous person. In fact, he's jealous enough to go through his wife's phone without her consent. Needless to say, the outcome was hilarious.
Yeah, let me tell you something. One time I thought my wife was cheating on me. That was one of the worst days of my life. And I'm embarrassed about it now, but I can talk about it. It's up, but I did do this. I waited. I waited for her to fall asleep. And when I waited a long time, she's Asian. I couldn't tell if she was asleep or not. I was looking at her. And when I was sure she was asleep, you know what I did? I stole the iPhone, took it downstairs and started trying out passwords to see if I could open it. I couldn't figure out the password. Then I remembered it's an iPhone. This shit has facial recognition. I was just like, oh. And that shit opened right up. And I saw a text message in there from a fella named Earl. I don't know anybody named Earl. I woke her up out of her sleep. I said, wake the fuck up. Who the fuck is Earl? She said, oh my God, David. That's gay Earl from the hair salon. She said, read his text and look at his pictures. I started reading the text. This fella sure does spell girl with a U a lot. And I switched over and looked at his pictures, and I couldn't believe it. This fella looked gay and still pictures. And then I knew she was telling the truth. And then I felt like dumb. I said, I'm sorry. I guess I just been insecure because all this cheating I've been doing. Good night.
Even though Dave Chappelle often makes his marriage the subject of his jokes, the reality is that he and his wife have shared a remarkably strong relationship for more than 2 decades. Elaine was by Dave's side long before he became a household name, and, believe it or not, she was sitting in the front row during his breakthrough special, Killing Them Softly. She also supported him through the entire Chappelle Show controversy. It's clear their marriage has stood the test of time. And speaking of the Chappelle Show controversy, did you know Dave actually appeared on Oprah's show to tell his side of the story? Somehow he managed to explain everything while being just as funny as ever.
Sketches that were funny, but socially irresponsible.
So did you go to a psychiatric hospital?
In South Africa?
Yeah.
Who? Huh? Oh, yeah, that's right. I was so...
I'm only asking because I need to ask.
I gotta get people thinking, all right, who goes from America to Africa for medical attention?
People were saying, where's Dave? Where's Dave Chappelle? Where's he going? And then it turns out you took a trip to Africa. Is that true?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
I tell you, hear a lot of black people say this, like when you go to Africa, especially your first time, you have this overwhelming feeling like you're home, which is true. I had that feeling like, man, this feels like home. I think I felt that way because there's a McDonald's in the airport. And next thing I started hearing all the stories like comedian Dave Chappelle's in a mental institution in South Africa. And I was like, man, I must be losing my mind.
Yeah.
Because I thought this was the beach.
Many people believed Dave was crazy for walking away from a $50 million contract. But years before that happened, he had already explained that he understood why so many celebrities eventually seemed to lose their way.
Particular day, I got to hook up with the kids. We went to Disney World. Everybody at the park. Everybody. Hey, Rick James, bitch. It's like, hey, man, hey. You mind not calling me a bitch in front of my kids? Time out, motherfucker. We take a day off. Even Mickey Mouse did it. I said, this is the most unprofessional shit I have ever seen in my life. Rick James, bitch. Oh, I was fed up. I caught that motherfucker with an uppercut. Bop! Knocked his head clean off. Everybody was screaming. Oh my God, oh my God.